Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking all about the Disney movie Soul, and we're going to break it down from a flow state perspective, a flow state angle, okay? Now, if you know the story of Soul, it's one where Joe Gardner, a middle school band teacher, finally gets his big break, and then he falls down a manhole, and that's when the universe does. When your identity gets too rigid, it flips the script, right? Because you forgot to live. So Joe thought his purpose was his career. He thought his life would start after he got his gig. He chased the dream and missed the actual spark. The breeze, the pizza, the banter, the damn barbershop, right? Let's talk about the lost souls in the movie. So the dark seekers of that realm, the ones who got stuck in obsessive loops, you guys remember that? You saw them as these giant, gray, hollow, twitching beasts, mumbling things like, must get the trades right, or she doesn't love me, or I'm not enough, or what's my purpose, or I need to succeed and I'm nothing, right? Any of these sound familiar? These aren't just cartoon monsters, right? They're real. They're your neighbor, they're your coworker, they're maybe your inner critic, they're maybe your old self. The lost soul is you when you attach too tightly onto the external and you forget the music of the moment. This movie, guys, this movie was all about jazz. How life was meant to be played like jazz, smooth, improvisational, okay? It's not meant to be this rigid play. It's meant to be a smooth melody. So in the movie, of course, Joe meets 22, the soul who doesn't want to live, because 22 saw humans get crushed under pressure. She saw how they got addicted to proving their worth. She didn't want to become another causality in the system, but then, you know, she eats pizza. She feels wind through leaves. She rides the subway and listens to music without doing anything. And that's when life really starts. So, you're not here to hustle your way into heaven. You're not here to fix everything before you feel joy. You're not here to earn worthiness like it's some prize at the end of your to-do list. You're here to be, to feel, to taste, to dance without needing a stage. But I'm stuck, bro. I feel heavy. Of course you do. You got tangled in thought loops. You identify with outcomes. And you're waiting for your big break like Joe. Not realizing that the spark was already in your pocket. You think liberation is just another hustle. Here's a news flash for you. You don't fix a lost soul by pushing them harder, okay? You free them by bringing them back to the present moment again. Like Moonwind, that guy in the movie, right? And Mystics Without Borders or whatever. He was flipping signs in the corner, in the real world. But who he was in the mystical world was completely different. He said the zone is enjoyable, but when that joy becomes an obsession, one becomes disconnected from their life. So don't let your joy become obsession. Don't get attached to this video game called life. Zoom out, experience the whole thing. Relax through it, smoothen your way through it, and realize that everything is a cause and an effect. If you're grinding, forcing, clinging to that one identity, you're risking soul decay, okay? Even purpose can become poison if you over-identify. So how do you stop being a lost soul? And we're going to be using examples from the movie, right? So the first thing is unhooking from your obsession. Let go of when this happens, then I'll be happy. Let life surprise you. Number 2, return to the little things. The pizza, the sidewalk saxophone, the shared laugh with homies. What happened to those moments, okay? Presence is God's signature. So drop the label. You're not just a healer, an artist, or strategist. You are soul playing in flesh, not in a resume. So ask yourself, am I living or am I trying to survive beautifully? Stop performing existence and start experiencing it. Let the mind soften. The body follows the mind. So liberation starts not by fixing the body, but by freeing the thinker from thinking it's the self. You don't need a big breakthrough, you need a big exhale, a return to breath, the senses, the moment. 22 didn't find her purpose, she found wonder, and that was enough. And for you, maybe the miracle isn't out there. Maybe it's right here in your next sip of tea, your next barefoot walk, or even in your next word unspoken but felt. Remember when 22 said, maybe sky watching can be my spark, or walking, or eating, or maybe my spark is just to live. Maybe your spark is just to live. Not later. Don't be a lost soul chasing a future, obsessed with the outcome. Be a living soul, dancing in the now for eternity. Because all a soul wants to do is just sing and dance. Truly. And there is a rebirthing spiritual purpose, one spark at a time. And understand, when they talked about the zone, that was flow state, right? It's not fantasy. When Joe hits it, when he's on the piano and his fingers are moving without thought, time disappears. He's not trying, he's being played, right? He vanishes into the now. So music is all I think about, he said. From the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment I fall asleep at night, I was born to play. Yes, Joe, but here's the catch. Flow isn't about your job. It's about your presence. What soul gets right about flow state is that flow is sacred. It's the place between life and death. The real you swims in it, and you can't control it. You just got to surrender to it. The second thing is that flow has no identity, right? The zone doesn't care about your resumes, not your name, not your goal. You're the movement between your thoughts. Third, you enter flow through love, not force, okay? Joe wasn't trying to be in the zone, he was feeling, and feeling is the portal, okay? So let me ask you this, when's the last time that you just disappeared into the moment? Time became nonsense. When you weren't self-conscious, but you were soul-conscious. That's the flow state, that's the zone, that's the real heaven, already accessible. But most people are stuck thinking about flow. Instead of surrendering to it, they're addicted to performance, to outcomes, and likes. But Soul taught us, you don't get to play the gig. You play to play. You play to play. Flow state is aligned, lost soul is obsessed. Flow state is timeless, lost soul is stuck in time. Are we getting the understandings here, guys? Don't be another bliss junkie. Find your flow state and actualize it, optimize it. Be the talent that you've always known that you've had. Don't be so focused on making it that you miss being it. So forget yourself. Ego can't flow. Let it die for a few minutes, right? Do some gibbering. Do something that just destroys that mind chatter. Liberation equals non-identification. Real power returns the moment you detach from false self-definitions. Even historical figures like George Washington can become lost souls when they cling to an identity or mission. This is what we fail to understand, guys. This applies to all of us. We suffer when we attach our energy to stories that we can't let go of. So true healing is destructive, it's not additive, right? You don't add light to become whole, you remove everything that isn't you. And like a caterpillar, you must dissolve to emerge as your true self. Not everyone is meant to be healed by your standards. Each soul is on its own path. Let them have their process without projection. Remember, all wisdom is already within you. Your task is just to remove the noise, lock in, and trust your inner knowing. Don't get so obsessed with the end goal that you start clinging to it too much, and then it becomes a spiritual attachment for you. I want you to try to understand that you gotta live your life like this jazz. So smooth, so effortless. And even on days where there's resistance, you learn how to dance with it. You learn how to move with it. You lean into it. You don't fight it. You relax into it. You smoothen out, okay? So practice this. It's not easy. It's never easy, but that's why being a flow state Jedi, you remain adaptable, weavable, okay? They cannot catch you because you are too weavable. You're too adaptable. You can shapeshift into whatever, okay? You can understand that you have the ultimate charisma, the power play. Listen, you just got to trust in yourself and believe in yourself, okay? You got to have faith. You got to have faith, okay? You got to just channel it, summon it, right? It's something outside of you. There's something greater than you wanting to work through you. You know you have guides. You know you have these invisible patterns showing up as synchronicities. Now you just need to double down on you, okay? And you need to choose you. I choose you finally, right? Like Ash, Pikachu, I choose you. You choose yourself first and then Pikachu will follow. So let's get it straight. Let's get it upward spiral. Every single millisecond we keep winning. You already know. I'll see you at the top. We're all going to make it. Happy Soulstice. Remember to do all your rituals to the adepts. And let's win. Osa. Much love.